I'm Tim.
And I'm Doug, and this is Chocolate Cover Games Monthly Melt for March of 2022. We didn't have one last month.
No.
He was sick.
Yep.
So we just didn't have one. So we're going to cover 2 months.
Sort
of 1 month.
Yeah. I mean, all the games played when we get to the game play segment are from month.
February. We didn't play anything this month because you were sick.
Yeah.
So we're just rolling with it. Thanks for coming back. But we always start with our fives.
Yep.
And we always know that my 5 are better than Tim's 5.
Yep. And for this month, I got to choose. Mainly because you chose last month,
Yep.
but we missed. And for this month, I decided to take a different approach and go with the 5 random facts that you know. Like, just that you've picked up, at some point in your life that you just knew randomly. Now, you looked up the things you knew, which...
Well, I wanted to double check them.
I never double check my facts.
I wanted to make sure my facts were correct.
I believe my facts are correct because I say they are.
So I guess we'll start with me.
Yep, that's how it works.
All right. So, again, these are no particular order.
It's hard to rank facts.
Yeah, I can't really rank my facts.
I guess I could, which fact I love the most.
Yeah. But, so for my first fact here, it's Pringles are not potato chips. They're made from dehydrated potato flakes and pressed into that shape. So you will not see the word chip anywhere on their can.
Nope.
Again, not looking for them to sponsor us, but if somebody from Pringles or whoever owns Pringles is watching,
I think Frito-Lay's owns
I
Pringles.
do enjoy those.
Yeah.
I would never say no to Pringles. But yeah, they are not chips, so it's not the potato cut and fried.
Nope, they're crisp, as they say on the cans.
So, and they've got good ones. They have lots of different ones.
Yeah, they've gone through a re-flavoring situation the past couple of years to make them bolder.
Well, and with the rebranding of the stacking them to make different things.
Yeah.
It's been cool. But so Pringles are not potato chips.
All right.
Is my first fact.
What was your 5th fact? Your number 5. Because my number 5 I consider my least favorite of my 5 random ones, I guess. Which, more pets run away on July 4th than any other day of the year in America.
And that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, people say it's because of the fireworks. I disagree with those people.
Yes, and your reasoning on this is ridiculous.
I say it's because pets hate democracy. Because you never hear them complain during the summertime when, amateur baseball nights have their firework nights.
Because that isn't across the country. Like, not every town has a minor league baseball team.
Yeah, but you think on the news, they're like, Harrisburg, the Senators, where they play, like, half the town dogs ran away because of it, or whatnot. It's always, the only reason I know this fact is every July 4th, more and more groups are pushing to get away from fireworks and go with drone shows. Now, a couple cities went with drones this year.
And I would be okay with that for some things. I do like fireworks. Though for fireworks, they are much better in the middle of winter, in the morning, when it's crisp, cold, and clear.
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't have to worry about that with the drones. The drones will always have the same vision every time. The only thing it's missing is the sound.
Yeah.
If you would do a drone show and just add blasts.
Yeah, but so my favorite fireworks are Groundhog Day, and there's music going on.
Yeah.
If you have music...
You still hear the blast.
Well, yeah, but still, you have music to listen to while you're doing it.
For the drone?
Yeah.
I would still miss that boom.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5.
Yep. So my next fact is the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland.
And we did know this because of the Ren Fair.
Because of the Renaissance Fair.
And like I said to you, it means Scotland really dropped the ball.
Either by picking a mythical creature or by not saving the unicorn.
By letting it die out.
There is the unicorn song.
That's like if America be like, where our national animal is going to be? The T-Rex. And we're like, yeah, we can agree. It looks cool and awesome.
Yeah.
But it's dead. We failed.
Well, not if they can...
Clone them?
Yeah.
I don't want a Jurassic World, situation on our hands.
Well, they have the robotic ones. I would be okay with those.
That's even worse. That's combining Jurassic World with the Terminator.
Yeah.
You know, if I open my window and all of a sudden a T-Rex is like Sarah Connor, I'm like, oh no!
It's Terminator Rex.
The Skynet and a crazy rich man formed together.
Yeah. You know? But, yeah, the unicorn song, you know, you got green alligators and long neck geese.
Yep.
And something and humpty-back whales. And,
Humpty-back camels.
oh, yeah, humpty-back camels.
You never have to put whales on your ark. Hey, Noah, put all these fish on your ark. They'll
Yeah.
never survive this flood.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland.
Alright, my fourth fact, which is a little less boring than my fifth fact, is the word dreamt is the only English word to end in the letters M and T. I only learned this a couple months ago when I got hooked into the whole Wordle craze. And I was looking up 5-letter words. Now, dreamt is not 5-letter words that the people can pick up. It's a 6-letter word. But there was an article like, fun word facts. I'm like, I love fun, and I love words.
No, you don't.
I love using words. I'm okay with fun. That's how I learned dreamt is the only one
Tim Beatty hates fun.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible at spelling, and you are too.
No, I disagree.
You are terrible at
I
spelling.
can spell 2-letter words like nobody's
and 4-letter words?
1-letter words? Forget about.
Yeah, you're all about the 1-letter words.
Yeah.
Yeah, M and T with being the last 2 letters of the word. Yeah.
It's the only one. Dreamt.
I never really thought about it.
And it gives you like some like offshoots like has dreamt.
Yeah.
But, you know, they consider it just as dreamt as the only English word. So that was my number 4 interesting fun fact.
I didn't know that. So my third fact here is during World War II, because you know, people went and fought the war. You know, everybody rallied behind the war effort. Because they lost so many players during World War II, the Steelers and Eagles combined to make a team called the Steagles in 1943.
Okay.
And I've known this for years, probably since I was in middle school. So I always thought that was a very cool thing that 2 teams came together, they combined their names. I'm not an Eagles fan by any imagination. I'm not a Steelers fan by any imagination. Even though we live in the middle of Eagles and Steelers country.
Yeah.
And we live pretty much where the split starts to happen.
All right, where the Commanders come up to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have to get used to saying that.
Well, no, because York is considered Baltimore viewing area.
Is it? I
Yeah.
thought it'd be more Commanders area.
No, York is Baltimore area. That's why there was an Orioles team store. And that's why they do all the Ravens stuff there. But anyways, so the Steelers and Eagles combining to become the Steagles. Just really cool fact, because the Eagles had their training camp in Hershey for years over at the Hershey Park Stadium. But for 2 teams to come together, but again, at that point in time, the country was very...
Short-handed?
Well, shorthanded, but they were wholeheartedly in things together. They weren't as divided.
Okay.
At that point in time, everybody was all about the war effort and helping to end the war. So, yep, that's my third fact.
Yep. My third fact is another word fact. Knocking the 2-word ones out of the way, and that is there's only one number spelled in alphabetical order, and that's the number 40. No other number has all its letters spelled in the order that they appear in the alphabet, which is just crazy to me.
So, that's right, we talked about that.
Yeah, I explained this to you because you're like, because then you started adding numbers. You're like, what about 42? I'm like, well, if 2 is not.
No, because I was at 4 and 40, and I forgot to realize you spell 40 different than 4.
You dropped the U.
Yeah.
Like Americans do with most English letters, words. We don't have time for extra U's in our words.
Not just we drop U.
Yep. So 40 is the only number. Yeah, because
spelled in alphabetical order.
Because I'm going to say negative 40, but negative's not spelled in alphabetical order.
Well, if you use the little...
Well, you don't spell words with symbols.
Hyphens?
I don't spell hyphen as a word.
No, but it's part of it's somebody's last name.
But it's not a word.
No, it's part of the name.
I disagree. And they should too.
You can fill in the little bubble on your test with a hyphen.
I don't think those have the hyphens.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
I know they don't have those, and they don't have the little...
apostrophes and commas.
Yeah, because a lot of kids up in Stilton have that in their names, and they can't do that.
So my fourth fact is that Pittsburgh is the only city where all of their professional sports teams have the same color scheme. They're all black and yellow.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a Steelers fan, not a Penguins fan, but I am a Pirates fan. So out of the three teams I could pick, I picked the losingest team, which is okay. They did win the World Series when I was like 4 months old. So I have been alive when they won a World Series. But yeah, I mean, you could sit there and really think about other cities, but man, it's hard to
I came up with a couple, but they only had one team.
One team. That doesn't count again.
Now, there was going to be a team in Pittsburgh that wasn't going to be black and gold. Or black and yellow. I forget what sport it was for. Was it?
Well, they don't have a basketball team.
Well, no, I think it was like going to be UFL team or...
Well, they do have what's the football league comeback that was gone? USFL.
Yeah.
So there is a team, the Pittsburgh, and I forget what they're called, but they're like purple.
Yeah. So see, your fact is null and void in a couple months.
They're playing, but they're Pittsburgh in name only. They're playing every game in that league in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
So
still Pittsburgh.
It's so it's their teams are the four major sports.
Okay, I'll accept that one.
Leagues, because I guess football technically is a major sport.
Yeah, so it's still football.
But of the four major leagues.
Yep. My next fact, my second most random fact that I consider more important than the previous ones. We were just speaking about, punctuation and whatnot. There's a punctuation that looks like a question mark with an exclamation mark going through it. It's not used too much nowadays. It's called an intro bang.
Okay.
And it's always one of my favorite apostrophes.
Okay.
Instead of like period or commas, it's like, what are you doing? Or, that would just be a question mark. Or I could just scream, what are you doing? And then you see people write exclamation mark, question mark. But before it used to be together, question mark, exclamation mark, intro bang. It's still a valid symbol. Most people don't use it.
Because it's not on a keyboard.
I bet you there's some sort of...
Probably under wingdings.
There's probably some combination to get
Isn't
to.
that what that thing's...
Wingdings is like the pointing box, bird, house.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to send you a message. I'm going to send you a message. Moose, arrow, triangle, fish. They're like, yes.
Dude, nobody ever does reports in wingdings.
I was going to pick the Oxford comma as my second fact. But everybody loves the Oxford comma, even though it's stupid. So I decided to be more irrelevant with the intro bang. That's my number 2 random fact. And what's your number 1 fact that's better than all your other facts? I want to judge it.
Well, you already know it.
I don't remember what you told me.
So, people that know me know one of my favorite shows. It's my 1 or 1A depending on the day. Simpsons is my other favorite show. Is MASH. So MASH ran for 11 seasons, which was longer than the U.S. involvement in the Korean War. The U.S. involvement in the Korean War lasted 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days.
So they could have 3 Korean Wars in the span of MASH.
Well, of U.S. involvement in that war. It's crazy to think that a show about a war lasted longer than the war. But it was a very popular show. Still's pretty popular, I'd say, in syndication.
Yeah, you can normally find it on some channels.
I watch it as much as I can. We have the box set. I don't even watch the box set because it's on TV all the time. But they don't show certain episodes on TV.
There's about 2 that they don't show. Then they normally don't show, like, the finale.
Yeah. So, Yeah, for a show to be longer than the actual event that it was about, there's a lot of facts or random facts about the show MASH. Like the actors didn't want the laugh track. So on the DVDs, you can actually watch without
the laugh track. Yeah.
2 characters were credited to be in every episode, and that was Hawkeye and Margaret Houlihan.
Yep.
Though Loretta Swit, who played Margaret Houlihan, actually wasn't in 11 of them. She wasn't on screen, but credited for being in all of them. But yeah, there's lots of different facts about that show. I probably know way too many facts about that show. But I always thought that was the biggest fact.
That was an okay number one fact. Not as good as my number one fact, which will blow the people away.
That, it's cloudy outside. It's a random fact for today.
I guess it is cloudy. No, my number one fact, I remember learning this one in college my first time around, is all trees produce sap. Therefore, you could technically have any flavor syrup from a tree. But not all trees produce enough sap.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason we really use maple and whatnot is because those trees just keep producing.
So, at the Pennsylvania Farm Show this year, there was a stand with hickory syrup. And I should have went and tried it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how sugary hickory syrup is compared to maple syrup.
Well, the one syrup you'll probably never see will be English oak. Apparently, that tree produces the least amount of sap of any tree known to man.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do realize any tree or every tree produces sap when you lean up against one.
Yeah.
And your arm's covered in it.
Well, see, that's why you should look for English oaks to lean against, because apparently they produce
because there's so many English oaks around.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that one? Maybe.
I think that's a maple.
Probably. I was just generally pointing to the tree.
Oh.
Outside. But yeah, you could, if you had enough trees of any sort, you could farm them to make syrup. Like, I don't know if I would want pine syrup.
Would it taste like pine saw?
Probably. Because it would have those same chemical elements that run through the tree.
I don't know if I'd eat pine syrup.
I try, at least once.
Especially if it tasted like pines, or smelled like pine saw. I've never tasted pine saw.
It was okay.
No, you had Fab.
Which was fine as well.
Yeah, you had Fab, the laundry detergent.
But, yeah, any tree could be made into a syrup. So you could have, like, I don't know, red...
Ash?
Yeah.
Ash syrup?
Yeah, well, until the ash disappears thanks to the beetles. The band, not the insects. But yeah.
I was going to say maple syrup, but...
Yeah, you really nailed it. You're like, I could take maple trees and maybe make a syrup out of them. Hopefully,
I don't know why that's not popped into my head.
Hopefully no one steals that idea from me.
Why maple just... I was like, maple syrup sounds good.
You could take white birch trees and make white birch syrup.
Well, that's what you basically use to make birch beer.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But you reduce them more into a consistency of syrup. Yep, so any tree could essentially be turned into syrup.
Palm syrup? Palm tree?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't see why not.
Well, I guess sort of, because you get like palm butters and stuff, and
yeah.
Isn't that made from the tree, or is that made from the leaves? I don't know.
I think the oils and whatnot come from leaves.
I think.
But yeah, any tree.
So yeah, if you've ever made a syrup from something other than maple,
yep.
Let us know.
You get a bunch of cherry blossom trees, you can get cherry blossom syrup.
Cherry tree, cherry syrup. Oh man!
I think that's one of the trees on the lower sap end. That's the problem.
Though I would plant enough to get that. That would be awesome.
Like I would plant a bunch of English oaks.
Yeah.
To get oak syrup.
So that way, you can charge a fortune for it?
Absolutely. Rich people would buy it because it's expensive, not because it's good. Which it might be good. It's probably not because no one's taking the effort to make it.
This took me 3,000 acres of land of nothing but English oaks.
Yep. Tapping these trees essentially wiped out half the Earth's oxygen.
You do black cherry trees? Mm-hmm. Walnut? Walnut doesn't produce a lot of sap, though.
MDF board trees?
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, if you know, for Tim's fact, if you've ever made syrup from a different tree,
Yep.
let us know.
Okay, now next is our crowdfunding segment.
So we're going to talk about 3 different games or game accessories, or I have no idea what Tim picks. So who knows? We'll have 3 something of each. But we're going to start with me. And my first game comes from Kickstarter. All mine are from Kickstarter. I actually didn't look at
GameFound.
GameFound. I was going to say GoFundMe.
Yeah, not many games on GoFundMe.
GameFound, or apparently you found another one.
I got one from Indiegogo.
Yep. So, but all 3 of mine are from Kickstarter. And my first one is Hot Rod, a roll and write revolution game by Benny and John Sperling. This is Derek Dooley, I believe is the gentleman's name, who has put these out. Some other games that he has put out has been Planes, Trains, and Argyle.
Okay. And
Train in Vain and Wild Wild West. Now these are all these like micro roll and write games. He's put out a bunch of these. In Hot Rod, it's 1+ players get to assemble and upgrade hot rods, build tracks, race across 4 different terrains. And this is a print and play one.
Okay.
And I was going to pull it up on my phone to tell you how much it was. I think it's $5.
Okay.
For this Kickstarter. Again, I've pitched a lot of these lately. The small print and play roll and write ones or print and play ones. I think it's a good way to go. I missed out on the last one that I talked about. I believe it was in our last crowdsourcing.
Funding.
Yeah, crowdsourcing. Crowd something. I believe that was a $3 one. I forgot to actually go do it. This one's $5. I might back this one then. I'm telling you to back it, so I would back it. So again, 1 or more players, you get to test their best cars against drag strips or road track. Takes 30 to 60 minutes for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you use dice to build tracks, you collect hot rods, and you upgrade your car. And I believe there's 25 turns in this game. That's what it is. Because every 5th turn, players score... it is 25 turns. Because every 5th turn, you score a bonus card that has specific requirements. And if you're falling behind, you don't have to worry. You can still score a card or points in later rounds. And then that are half those points. So if you score, like, let's say, I believe if you're in like the 3rd round, but you can score the first card, you can score it at half those points. So you still can score those and catch up. I believe that's how it works. Then at the end, you get to run each of your upgraded hot rods on an individual track. And you try to carefully target your cars to specific terrains so that you can cover the best array of tracks and earn the most points.
Okay.
So for $5, I think I like racing, so I might have to check this one out. And again, that's Hot Rod, a roll and write revolution game. And it ends March 30th. So by the time
Well, this segment will come out before then.
Okay, so it ends March 30th.
Yep. My first one suggesting is the one from Indiegogo, which there's not a lot on the platform anymore. This game is called Tech Chess.
Okay.
I don't know if I would personally back it, but I wanted to bring a spotlight to it just because how unique and different it was. When you hear Tech Chess, what do you think the game would be like?
Technical chess.
Okay. Well, it's a card game.
Okay.
Whereas these cards that the guy has created that go from 1 to 13, and you play these cards in a 6x6 grid that you make yourself, and you play with 2 kings, 1 queen, 2 rooks, and 6 pawns.
Okay.
Now these are all in card form, but the cards on them have powers
Okay.
that you can either upgrade, change, reverse characters, and there's also knights, 2 knights as well.
Okay.
So you can, on your turn, you can either move your cards, which they all move in different unique ways, opposite of chess.
Okay.
But you can also change your card into something else twice per game. You could equip cards to your pieces.
So this is just a card game.
Sort of, because you set it up in front of you in a grid form freely because there is no board. So I put out, my row of 6 and my row of 6, and you put out your row of 6 and row of 6. And then there'd be 2 blank rows in front of us, technically. And the goal of the game is to capture both of the players' kings.
Okay.
I watched this video 4 or 5 times. I didn't quite understand the rules just because it was such a intense game.
Okay.
But, I thought this isn't a company because, on Kickstarter and whatnot, it's always, we're CMON, we need your money. They don't need our money. They just want to have a direct source kind of thing. Now, this is an individual who came up with an idea, and he wants to make the game. He's looking for $500. He's currently at 0, but has 12 days to go, so it's fairly new on Indiegogo because I think they only give 15 days, something like that. So his ends April 3rd. If nothing else, check out his the page Tech Chess on Indiegogo just to see if this is something somebody would be interested in. It's $15 for the deck, and like I said, it's such a.
Now you get everything. It's not collectible or.
This is a single deck that contains the game. I'm assuming the rules are in there because it shows in a deck box. So I guess you could have the rules in there to be forwarded. But if you really like chess and want something completely different, I think this would be the way to go. The only movement I did remember is...
If you like chess and you want something different, get Onitama.
Like, the king can move 2 spaces in any directions. The knights still move in an L. And, the pawns can move, 3 spaces forward. But it's a very unique game that somebody's trying to get made. I guess just published by themselves.
Yeah.
But that was Tech Chess. By, it's not a company, but Benjamin Chang, I would say. Cheung. Chung. Still a little bit away from his goal. It's interesting because Indiegogo, you don't have a set goal, a fixed, he's asking for 500, but next to it says flexible goal. So I'm not quite sure what that means.
Yeah, it means it's flexible.
Well, no, I don't know, if only 12 people back this, does it still happen?
I don't know.
I'm not very well with Indiegogo. But like I said, something to check out. That's Tech Chess.
Okay. And we'll go back quick to my first one, Hot Rod.
Mm-hmm.
So they did meet their goal.
Okay.
Their goal is actually $100, and they're at $500.
Okay.
So that has funded. So my next game, or games in this case, is 6 greeting card games, designed by Emily Dix of the Dark Imp.
Yeah.
And so they're known for other placemat, note card, and coaster style games. They've done a lot of this style of game.
Okay.
And it ends March 23rd. Is when this ends, but I was gonna say
funds.
Well, no, project ends.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the word project. So there are 6 greeting card games, and I want to make sure I get them all right here. So bear with me. So the first one is Splinter. It's a paper cutting card game.
Okay.
So in each round, you'll be given a task, but you have to choose how much paper to use in that task. How much paper you need to create an ingenious standing sculpture, build the highest tower, or fly a paper airplane the farthest. But be warned, you only have one piece of paper for the whole game, and you don't want to run out. That's the game on this greeting card.
Okay.
So you need a piece of paper to go with that. And on the greeting card, it gives you the different things that you can choose for that. Next up, the game is called Enemy Lines.
Okay.
It's a head-to-head strategy game. On a standoff, old enemies go head-to-head. Your aim is to get 3 of your battleships across no man's land and firmly within the enemy lines. But don't get too distracted. You must protect your ships and your home territory, or you'll find yourself sinking quickly. So it's sort of like Battleship,
okay,
but you're trying to move the ships from your side of the board to your opponent's side of the board.
Okay.
So it's like moving Battleship. And again, it's all played on the greeting card. Now, the greeting card does have a side where you can cut out the little ships and everything. The next one is Guess How. This is a cooperative legacy game. The pawns need to get home, but their movement is restricted. As a team, or there's also a solo variant in this, it's your job to help them. After a square has been vacated, it's blocked and can never be returned to this game. This game has advanced legacy mode where you take on 4 different missions and permanently change the board.
Okay.
So, again, part of the greeting card you cut and things like that. Again, just a nifty little idea.
So these are all one play?
No, because like that other one, you cut out the ships and you... Then in the drawing room with the hatchet is the next one. This is a cutthroat programming game. This is a kill or be killed situation. Hide a weapon, find another player's hidden weapon, and do as much damage as you can.
Okay.
Program your actions, move around the house, search a room, question your enemies, activate powers, use your weapons, and kill players become ghosts, but may still kill others. So you want to be the last living person standing in that game. Snakes, ladders, and a pogo stick is the one, another one of these. Again, most of these seem to be 1 to 4. This is actually 3 to 5. And it's a race. First across the finish line wins. Place your workers on actions to move forwards, backwards, swap places. With another player, if you manage to grab the pogo stick, you could bounce in great distances, but you can drop and push yourself back. It's chutes and ladders, or snakes and ladders, but with a pogo stick at it. And a greeting card size. So, again, you're sending somebody something quirky.
Yeah.
Another Life is an economic action selection game. You lost almost everything in a shipwreck, and now you need to try to make a new life.
Okay.
Improve your health, wealth, education, travel to different islands. You'll take actions, good planning, and pirate shenanigans will help you get to the top. So again, it's, worker or action selection. There's, doesn't give you a whole lot in the description, but it looks cool artwork on that. But again, they're greeting card size, and they don't take very long. So to me, that's one of the big things.
Okay.
And I will tell you how much they are. 6 greeting cards games, $24.
Okay.
For 6 of the greeting cards. Or you can get 3 packs of the 6 cards for $64.
That's not too bad.
So again, that is 6 greeting card games, and it's by Ellen Dix and ends March 23rd.
All right. My next crowdfunding game is a video board game of sorts, I would say, because it's a video deck builder.
Okay.
It's called Hexarchy, like anarchy, but with the word hex in front of it. It's a historical deck building strategy royale game. It says it takes inspiration from The Sims, Catan, and Hearthstone.
Okay.
Basically, it looks like if you've ever played a Civilization game, it looks like that, but they claim you can play it within an hour instead of, several hours. That each turn you'll be dealt cards that you can buy different cards, and all your actions are based off what you have in your hand instead of in Civilization, I make warriors, so I always have warriors. I can do warrior things, or I have a granary, so I can produce grain.
Okay.
Here, my actions are based on what I draw this turn. So if I don't draw explore lands, I can't explore lands to grow my lands.
Okay.
And they're claiming that it's going to be able to play. It's going to be a 10-player game online. So that's the Royale thing where you're knocking people out. That matches will be under an hour, which if that's true, that's big news. Because I love Civilization. The problem is one of those games takes 8-9 hours. And a lot of that time is downtime, like, I need money so I can get my next troop, or I need to do this. Here, that's all taken care of with the cards. Like, I need money. I drew the money card. I get to play this. It's currently not funded quite yet, but is fairly new to Kickstarter right now. They are halfway there. They are just under 10,000. They're looking for 25,000. But they have 22 days to go, so it ends April 13th.
Okay.
It has a pretty low entrance point. They're only asking $15.
Okay.
To get a Steam key for it. And that gets you the game. So, not a bad price. It seems to be the first thing they've created. This group is called Main Tank Software. But from what I could see through a lot of their videos that they put out, it looks good. It has that Civilization 6 art style, which is one of the better Civilization games out there. So I'm looking forward to that. It's probably a game I might back for only $15. If I can hop in on a Civilization game for an hour and just mess around in it, it's something that I think it's something you would like too, since that's you played a lot of Civilization.
Yeah.
But they're claiming to be a 4X game in under an hour, so hefty goals.
All right.
That was Hexarchy, hard to say, ending on April 13th.
All right. So my final game today, again, comes from Kickstarter, and it is Motor City. Strategic engine building roll and write game. So I got 2 roll and writes.
Yeah.
And this is from Motor City Gameworks. They've also done Three Sisters, which was very popular, and Fleet the Dice game, which is very popular.
Yep.
So I expect this one to be pretty popular. And again, it ends March 30th, and it has funded.
Okay.
They well met their funding goal. And $29 is what this one is. They have a pledge for the $29 or for like a bigger group. But so Motor City, you oversee engineering, assembly, and more to run an automotive empire.
Okay.
And you have the different areas of basically the factory. So these areas are represented by tracks that you mark off as you make progress. Many of the tracks are interconnected with other elements of the game, giving you bonuses along the way and opportunities to unlock more points.
Okay.
Advancing on all these tracks offers various amounts of points, advancements, and bonuses. The game only lasts 8 rounds, so it's very quick roll and write. Each round, you roll colored dice, and based on the number of players, and place them on spaces on the action chart. Based on the value and color, each player drafts 1 die and uses it.
Okay.
Once everyone has drafted their die twice, all players get to use the remaining dice on the action chart. And each die you draft lets you do 3 things. which is collect the bonuses of the spaces for which you remove the die, take the action associated with the space from which you remove the die, or take the action of the space on your sheet where you place the die. Then you receive action associated with those spaces of the remaining die. After 8 rounds, you score points for your progress in engineering, assembly, testing, and other various departments. And whoever has the most points wins. End of the game, after 8 rounds, you tell your final score, compare it against the chart that's in the book as well, and to see what model car you've made. I know that the top car they have is Corvette. Most of their products seem to be GM related, which is okay. I'm a Dodge guy, so I wish it would have been,
So in this game,
the top one would have been a Charger or Challenger, but a Corvette.
So in this game, are you trying to make one whole complete car like the same, or is this like the Johnny Cash on one piece at a time? Where I have this year model. And
No,
this year.
so you're not actually. So you're trying to build cars, sell cars, market cars. There are different parts. So there's engineering, assembly, testing, and
so
you're trying to get your tracks up.
Okay.
So that if you get so far on one track, it helps raise this track and helps raise this. So the 5 actions you have allow you to fill space in one department on your sheet. So there's like a speedometer action, a sales department, a testing department, an engineering department, production department. Upgrading actions allow you to spend money to permanently double or triple the amount of bubbles you fill in.
Okay.
Researching allows you to advance on the research track. So you're trying basically to build your cars efficiently, sell them at the right time. I think it sounds like a really cool roll and write. And that is Motor City by Motor City Games, and it ends March 30th.
Okay. My last pick for this month for crowdfunding is not a game. It's not even a video game. It's a game accessory.
Okay.
It is a card box with drawers in it. It's from... I just looked up the name 2 seconds ago. I can never remember. It's Tellurian Community College is the people putting it out. He is a YouTuber.
Okay.
Who it's done for, I think he's on like 8-9 years already of doing this. And he just reviews, deck boxes, folios, sleeves, like anything like that.
Okay.
Like accessories for like Magic,
Yeah.
Gathering, and TCGs. Yeah, those are collectible card games.
Yeah.
So
TCGs are trading card games.
like CCGs.
Yes, that's why we're talking
Card games, yeah. So I've watched his videos for a couple years now. Even though I don't play Magic or anything like that, it's interesting to see, what companies are putting out there, sleeve-wise, box-wise, solution-wise for card holding. Like, I've just learned from him, like, in the past couple of years that triple sleeving your cards are a thing. Why would you triple sleeve a card?
Because you really don't want anything to happen. Or you don't want to send it to get graded in one of those hard plastic things. The people that get the Pokemon cards graded, how do you play with that?
Well, I think they're getting them graded to resell, but if you're triple sleeving your cards, just get the one touch all your cards.
Yeah,
which this box does fit those.
Fit one touches.
Yeah, you could have a deck of one touches.
Huh.
This box he created is so fascinating to me. Which is, when people do something so long, they know what they like and how to improve upon it. One of his biggest complaints always are, everything in these boxes lying flat, so you can never get your fingers in there.
Yeah.
So he has his things where they have finger grooves, so you can pull out your decks. Or with the tuck boxes on the side, the things pull down so you can pull them out.
Yeah.
Just simple little things. He teamed with GameGenix, which is one of the bigger names in deck boxes.
Yeah.
Out there. It is a limited run, because GameJack's just gonna make whatever is backed in this this thing, which he's doing very well. It launched a couple of days ago, 3 days ago. He's got 22 days left, so April 14th is when he's already at $1.5 million raised. Like I said, he's one of the more popular YouTubers when it comes to, accessories. Because if that's all you do, that's the guy you trust.
Yeah. Now I'm really thinking, for baseball highlights, one touch in every card.
You should.
Of course, though, the free agent deck would be floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
You'd need like 500 one touches.
You should get everything from Marvel Legendary and one touch it all.
Yeah.
Have like 4 trunks worth of cards.
Or Dominion.
Yep.
Dominion, at that point, you're buying like a travel trunk from like the 1800s.
But, I think this is a channel that would appeal to more than just people that play Magic. Because, like, you collect baseball cards.
Yeah.
So, you don't sleeve any of yours outside of either top loaders or that. I mean, there'd be no reason to put like a sleeve that has a full color on the back for a card.
Yeah.
But, he reviews penny sleeves, and the new things are like the side loaders, I think they're called. Those are like the new penny sleeves. Never seen him review any, like, the card sheets.
But no, this does sound like a cool thing. And when does it end?
April 14th. I realized I didn't say what the name of the project actually is.
Yeah.
It's called the Academic 133XL.
And how much is it?
The price point is $45.
Ooh.
Well,
but
for some of these boxes, that's what they go for.
Yeah.
I mean, this one.
Granted, for the 3,000 count boxes for baseball cards, it's like $5, but that's all cardboard.
Now, I'm not gonna pretend like I speak Magic because I don't understand. I know the game, but I don't know enough.
Abracazam! I just spoke Magic.
But apparently this box can hold 3 commander decks plus tokens.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Apparently that's a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. No, it looks cool.
There's not many Kickstarter. What do you call them when they hit the things?
Stretch goals.
Yeah, there's not many stretch goals. Mainly because they want to go to the box. The only thing I think they've really stretch goal are these unique thing called seismorphic dividers, which are like these foam dividers that stretch and shrink. So if you have empty space, actually,
that would be really good for some of my card boxes.
Just cards in general.
Yeah,
and I was
because in my Pirates box that I have, I got foam blocks in there,
which they say the same, but this is like accordions.
Yeah, that is a good idea. That's a great idea just for people who collect sports cards or any type of cards.
Yeah, I mean, he could have probably just got away with that. And the other thing was tokens because Magic has a lot of tokens.
Can you
just back it for those?
Yeah,
maybe
it's an add-on.
Well, yeah, you back at $1, and then when it comes to the thing, you wouldn't subject to the box. You just go to the add-on.
And how much are those?
$4.
$4?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I might have to consider that because that would really be helpful, especially, too, in my Harrisburg Senators player box because it's only about half full.
Yeah.
And my Tampa Bay player box.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he says it goes from 2 inches down to a centimeter.
So I'd still need a couple of them, but
But
they're adjustable.
Yeah,
which is nice.
As you keep putting it in, it will shrink.
Yeah. So that's great right there. Just that add-on.
To tell them to run another campaign.
Just for that, yes.
I mean, everything does look to be high quality. I mean, it's one of those things that if this is what you're known for, you really don't want to fail.
No. So this is a really good Kickstarter, especially again, not for me on the Magic or card game wise, but for me on my sports card wise, that sounds awesome. And you said it ends April 1st?
No, April
14th.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great one. What Kickstarters are you backing? Or just crowdsourced games in general?
Yep.
I know GameFound's a big one now, and apparently they're still on Indiegogo.
Yeah, not much on Indiegogo. I had the little card.
But let us know what you're backing, or if you got anything in recently that was crowdsourced. I know Tim just got Massive Darkness 2.
Yeah.
That was the big one that just recently came in. That was crowdsourced.
Up next is games played for the month of March. This month, all the games played were from the previous month. That we didn't do a monthly month for. We played a total of 5 games, and we played them at a new location this time.
Yeah, so about an hour away from us, depending which way you drive, from our hometown here in Hershey, Pennsylvania, to get to York, Pennsylvania, there is no direct route.
Nope.
We either got to go to Harrisburg and down, or to Lancaster and across.
Yep.
But in York, Pennsylvania, Game Haven Cafe and Bakery, and actually, I before we even talk about the games played, I'd like to give them a shout out.
Oh, they were very nice people.
Very nice people, very clean store, excellent food,
Yep.
great game selection. Cannot wait to go back. And you know, it's about an hour drive, but it was worth it.
Yeah, very large variety.
Especially for us, who we go more on weekdays, because I work a lot of weekends.
I think we went up on a Wednesday, and I thought it'd be dead, but it turned out that was some group's domino day.
Yeah, they had a very large group in a separate room playing, which I thought was awesome. So it was really just us. There was another group that came in at one point. So we got there right about when they opened. We stayed till just about dinner time.
Yeah, we had to beat traffic.
Yeah, because we beating traffic.
That hour drive became a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, coming back, you either got to leave before traffic or after traffic, which next time I'd stay to after traffic to get some more games in. But definitely, if you are in the Harrisburg, York, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania area anytime, check out Game Haven Bakery, or Game Haven Cafe and Bakery in York. So again, we'll move on to our games played.
Yep. The first game we played there was the game Planet by Blue Orange.
Yep.
I enjoyed this game because it's a 3D puzzle, more or less.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It becomes harder though as the game goes on.
Yeah,
when you've got to turn it and okay, did I count this area and turn it? Did I count that area? But it's so puzzly then as you get more into the game because of that 3D puzzle where you're like, okay, I need this. You know, I need like water, but not to touch mountain, and I've already put this piece here, and if I put it here, because on this side of my planet I have that, but it's going to connect on this side of my planet. It was a good puzzle game.
I would say this is a lot like Cascadia, where Cascadia is you're making a map, and you have to put certain things next to each other.
Yeah.
This one you're making a globe. And I think I would prefer this over Cascadia for that reason.
And
it plays quicker, and it forces you. It really limits your area. Like when we played Cascadia, my board was from like a yard and a half long.
I liked Cascadia better because everything was in front of you. When you set your planet down, you know, unless you're always picking it up and flipping it, you know, the spatial aspect of it was tough for me, but it was a good game.
Yeah. I'm glad we played it.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I would play it again.
I would like to play with more people. Now, all these we played at 2.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that. We play a lot of games at 2 players.
See, I don't think it really hurt us at 2.
No, it didn't. But I would like to play it at 4 because... At 3 or 4 because then, you know, there's other people getting some of the choices of things.
Yeah. The next game we played up there was Trekking in the National Parks.
Yep, Trekking in the National Parks.
Which was the first in their trekking series, I believe.
Yep. And this is a game I've wanted to play since I've gotten into the hobby. Because I like national parks. And, again, the artwork I thought on all the park cards was really nice.
Well, it wasn't artwork, it was photos.
Yeah. But I thought it was cool. And I like that because that and parks and trails, I think, has the same stuff. Yeah. You know, so I like that. And I just like geography. I was going to say geology. I do like geology, too. But I like geography. I like national parks. I like things like that. But it was very Ticket to Ride-ish.
I would say if you have a young kid, instead of playing Ticket to Ride, play this over that.
Yes.
Because Ticket to Ride, you have to figure out how to get to places, and you have to deal with people blocking you.
Yeah.
Here, no one really can block you.
No, you just can't stop on one they're on,
Yeah.
and the game ends in different ways.
Like ours ended with the last jewel being taken.
Yeah. So, but it was a fun game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Again, I'd like to play it with 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Again, at 2 players, it works, but it's not necessarily great at 2.
At this point, a graphic will appear somewhere on the screen saying, least favorite game, by far for me.
I didn't find this to be as bad as you did.
It was terrible. People love this game, which...
Wait, are you talking Trekking National Park's the next one?
The next one.
Aquatica.
Trekking National Park is fine.
Tim can't pronounce Aquatica for some reason.
That doesn't look like it's spelled.
So Aquatica, not a good 2-player game.
It's so slow.
4 players, I thought it ended too quick.
Nah,
I thought it ended too quick at 2 because after each round you took away one of those cards at the bottom.
Yeah.
As a timer. Where at more players you don't take those cards.
Yeah.
So you can build up everything else. Because our game ended because of the cards at the bottom. So there again at 3, 4 players, it would change the way you play the game.
It was just too slow of a game because it really restricts what you can do with the whole mechanic of you need this to pull this because you never really...
Yeah, but the thing is you like Everdale where if you have this and this get you this and...
Yeah, but this one really forced... Because in Everdale, when you gather resources, they stay with you. Here, at the end of your turn,
yeah, but like
you start back as 0.
Those things at the bottom of the cards in Everdale, like the house and a mouse and...
Yeah.
You know, where Aquatica, the different things could get you different...
Yeah, but only for that turn. Then you basically start back at scratch, and then you got to rebuild each turn.
No.
It was a game where you're constantly back to nothing.
No, I didn't think that.
Oh, that's how it felt to me.
No, I like this game. It was not my favorite game of the month.
It's not the worst ocean-based game I've ever played.
But would I play this game again? Yes, I would like to play Aquatica again, and I'd like to play it with 3 or 4.
If enough people around me, like Tim, we knew how to play, I would say yes. But if there was people already playing, I'm like, I'm good.
Like I said, not a good 2-player game, but I did enjoy it. I wish it would have been longer, and at a higher player count it would have been. Unless people were just buying the people at the bottom.
Yeah, which they could have.
It had that Mission Red Planet vibe with the playing the cards and then you play the one card to get all your cards back.
Yeah.
And the hard thing with that was I didn't care for Mission Red Planet, and I don't know if it's because the person who taught us or was the game. Because the guy who taught us, again, taught us Arboretum, and in either game told us how you win when he was teaching it. So that sort of... hurt how I thought of those games. With Aquatica having that same mechanic, actually, I did think it was okay here. Mainly because I knew how to win the game.
Now, I will say production of this game was very nice.
Yes.
Fantastic production.
Yes.
I will not ding them for that.
But no, Tim didn't like this game. I did.
Speaking of production, this next game was very well produced.
Yeah.
Almost overly so. It's one of those games...
I'm okay with that. It was...
Where they so overproduced, you're like, does it really need all this? And that was, which I'll guess is your game of the month.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Seven Wonders Architects.
Yes, that's because I really like Seven Wonders Duel, whereas we say Seven Wonders Duel.
I do think this would replace Duel if we owned it.
It probably would, because I think...
Because it gives you different gameplays depending on who you are.
Yes.
Whereas in Seven Wonder Duel, the only thing that really changes is what comes
out, how it comes out, and how you buy. But this has that same mechanic of how things can come out. You can get really lucky and have the things come out, but
you have powers that you can manipulate a little bit, which is nice.
But man, I love this game. This is by far my game of the month, without even thinking about it. Mainly because I like Seven Wonders Duel. And it's very similar, but the production of it, with having to build those wonders, and getting the different things that are on them. Then again, I think it worked at 2. It was fine at 2.
I wish I would have chose somebody else though for mine, because I had the pyramid, which their special power was no special power.
It was victory points.
Yeah, it was just everything was just worth 1 more than everybody
I forget
else.
which. I was the statue.
You were.
No, I was the.
Yeah, weren't you the lighthouse?
I was the lighthouse.
Yeah, you were Alexandria.
Yeah. But yeah, I think again playing with this 3 or 4, where you have the cards on either side. Again, with 2 players, I think it plays the same.
Yeah, I think I don't think player count really mattered too much in this game.
No, but man, I really like Seven Wonders Architect. If you get a chance to check that game out, give it a play. You will not be disappointed. So yeah, if Tim's putting a graphic up somewhere,
there's a little. If you would watch our videos, you would know this.
Down here, then?
No, it's
up here.
It's always floating above us.
Okay,
except for mine, I always put it over my face for some reason.
Yeah, game of the month for sure.
And then the last game we played this month worked really well too, being a 2-player.
It's a 2-player game.
Well, no, there is a solo variant.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be played at 2. I misspelled it here. It's supposed to say Blitzkrieg. I wrote down Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
But it is Blitzkrieg. It's marketed as the 20-minute 2-player World War II game, because that's the one with Japan.
If we would have not played Seven Wonders Architect, this would have been my game of the month. I enjoyed this,
which was surprising. I think you wouldn't have liked it,
and I didn't think I'd like it either, which is why I never sought out to play it. And when you're like, "Yeah, let's play this," I was like, "Oh, okay."
Because it is a very thinky game, because you try to chain actions together.
I think I won, didn't I?
You did on the very
I won on the last turn, yeah.
Because you were able to chain 2 things together to move up 4.
Yes, that's right. I did win on the last turn.
Because I gave you the allies who have an advantage. That all you have to do is surpass me and so many points.
Well, I guess it helped that I sort of cheated the first couple turns.
It's true, that did help you as well.
It really didn't.
You say that.
Because I put the thing, instead of putting it in the bag, I just put it in my...
Your draw already.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you as the ally only had to reach a certain number before me, but if I did, you would have 1 more turn to get the chance to surpass me.
Yeah.
So I got the number, so my DM was done, you were down by 3, and you're like, well, I gotta figure this out, and you're like, well, you sat there for a bit, and then you figured out what could connect to what.
Yeah. Good 2-player game. I won't even say good 2-player game, I will say great 2-player game.
Oh, games that are designed for 2 players normally shine in the 2-player realm.
Well,
not as, there's some 2-player games that are terrible.
Yeah, that is true. But even if you're not a war gamer, it doesn't play as a war game.
No, this feels more like a worker placement game that has a war theme.
Yeah.
I would actually consider this a good introductory to war games, because the chips were made like war game chips, where you have a picture and a number.
Yes.
And you would know what that symbol meant and what the numbers meant.
This would be a very good introductory to those hardcore chit war games.
I mean, it's not the best introductory, because those, there's a lot more, but to get the feel of how they would.
Well, yeah, because with the number, and you try to have the highest number on that row.
Yeah.
Again, in the chit style war games, you're looking at the number of your chit versus their chit.
Yeah.
And it is that back and forth. So, but yeah, Blitzkrieg, great 2-player game.
I wish we would have played with the expansion that adds nukes and Godzillas.
We can do that the next time.
But
yeah, so I don't know if you'll come up with a banner like 1A game of the month.
No, that's way too much work. Normally, there's just a banner that says my worst game and your favorite game. Because I try to mark you as more positive, because people seem to like you on the channel.
Well, and I have a hard time being negative.
Oh, not me.
Well, yes, we know that.
There's some terrible games out there.
But that was the games we played in February, but for March.
Yeah.
Of
played for this month.
Yeah, for this monthly melt.
Yeah.
What games you played the last 2 months?
Have you played any of these games that we've mentioned?
Yeah, if you played any of these, let us know. Let us know what you think about it. Let us know why Tim's wrong on Aquatica.
I'm wrong. Aquatica.
What have you been playing? Let us know. I like to see when people put what they've been playing.
And we have off topic this month, which Doug got to choose. So let's find out what his off topic's about.
So for this month, I got to pick the off topic.
Yep.
And you always think my off topics are terrible.
They are.
Because it's, I look out the window and whatever I see.
You're like, our off topic is black filing cabinets.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how we'll do.
Yep. So this month's off topic is actually, so I have a autograph collecting channel that I do. And I follow some other guys that do that as well. And one guy is running a contest on his channel. And I thought the video that he wanted people to make to enter this contest would make a good off-topic discussion as well.
Okay.
And so the question he asked people to make a video for was, I don't know, what are you looking up?
In case you ask me a question. Keep talking.
Was celebrities, whether entertainers or sports celebrities, that you thought were nice, that you've dealt with, and then ones that you thought were not so nice that you've dealt with.
Yeah.
So, and we actually have had this discussion when I was trying to think of guys I was going to put out for that, and I actually have not done the video, and I wish I would have. But so okay.
I figured you'd ask me who's somebody I would want an autograph for.
No.
So I was trying to figure out the guy's name. The guy that played Mr. Feeney.
He also played John Adams in 1776.
That's why I was trying to remember his name.
Yes. So no, but that's not.
I was just being prepared
So
for being off topic.
Out of all the athletes,
Athletes. Darn those athletes.
Out of all the athletes and entertainers that you've met in person, but you've met some.
Yeah, I've met a fair amount.
Who has been the nicest that you've met?
A celebrity or athlete that's the nicest I met.
Hey, now you've met a lot of hockey players.
It's true.
You've met a lot of baseball players.
I got to high five Bo Jackson once in Harrisburg. I mean, I don't know if that was nice or not. He was trying to convince us not to do drugs.
Yeah, well, that's nice. He wasn't, hey kids, do crack. All right.
Yeah. I guess if they would have got like Daryl Strawberry, he's like, oh, I've got my messages mixed up.
Yeah.
This is athlete or celebrity I met.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like non-sports person you've met. I don't know, is there many?
Not too many.
I mean, we meet a lot of sports athletes.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well,
did you meet John Andretti?
I did.
Before he passed?
Yeah, I met him. I met Steve Parks.
Yeah.
After his incident. Did Ryan's dad play?
Ryan Fenves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave Fenves.
Yeah. He was nice.
He played in the AHL. I believe he did play in the NHL some.
Yeah. I mean,
I would consider you get to the AHL, you're a professional hockey player.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you sign a professional contract in the ECHL, you're a professional player.
I mean, he's the only celebrity or athlete I know that's offered me snacks.
There you go.
Didn't kick me out of his house.
Well, what about Kellen Kobacki?
I had classes with him. I never really hung out with him.
But you know who he is, and you had your 5-year class reunion.
In fairness,
was he nice to you?
Yeah.
Or was he like, Tim, shove off?
No. I mean, I think from like 6th grade all the way through high school, we were always in the same gym or weightlifting class. I mean, I was in school with Nick Foligno.
Yeah.
Who just got traded to Boston.
No, he was with Boston.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay, so then he got traded from Boston. I mean,
he's with Boston right now.
Yeah, I said he got traded to Boston. He said no.
Yeah, but that was like last year.
I thought.
Well, no, he signed with Boston this year.
Is that what it was?
He signed with Boston because he got traded from Columbus to Toronto last year.
Yeah.
Because I was happy.
Yeah.
But he signed with Boston.
Yeah.
And his brother Marcus plays for Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, his brother was a freshman our senior year.
Yeah.
I really didn't talk to him at all.
So outside of school,
and
school chums.
Yeah. Darn, if I have a really famous celebrity friend, like I can't count them.
I mean, because Mike Foligno, I guess, was nice to you.
Yeah.
I mean, his daughter was in band with you.
Yeah.
So that's what when you grow up in a town with a minor league team,
Yeah.
their kids could go to school with you. I played minor league baseball with Ben Eves. His brother Patrick Eves played in the NHL for Anaheim and Detroit. His dad, Mike Eves, was one of our assistant coaches for my little league baseball team. But he was the head coach of the Hershey Bears at the time, and coached the University of Wisconsin for a long time. So I always thought it was fun that I could say, "Hey, you and I played for the same coach." But we're getting away from who was nice.
Did we meet the guy in Campbelltown that sang? What was his song? He stayed for like 15 hours signing.
No, we didn't stay for Ken Mellons.
Yeah, because
we were at the back of the line.
Yeah, because we had to wait 15 hours to meet him.
I have met a lot of country stars.
Yeah.
Too, because of firemen's carnivals. They used to have those, and guys on their way up or on their way down. And one radio station does a fall festival.
Mm-hmm.
So still waiting. Who's been
Do
nice.
local celebrities count?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Then Phil the Thrill.
Phil the Thrill from?
He's currently on Red 102.3.
Yep, Red 102.3.
Yep. Because when I was in the hospital,
yeah,
he commented because he was there because he was visiting his grandmother.
Yeah. But he didn't come and visit you.
Well, no. I didn't expect him to.
Yeah, no. But I mean, you've met minor league baseball players. You've met.
Not to the point where I had such a long interaction.
Well, no, but we stayed for autograph stuff. And,
yeah.
Like again, I'm.
Yeah, because autographs is your thing. I'm thinking, oh goodness, and you're like, do you remember that button you laid down in your second season when it helped make you only lose the game by 3? Best day of your life, probably.
So for me, nicest interaction with a celebrity of any sort. I've got many. Again, because I have country music stars at local things. But top of the list, Richard Petty.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Petty is the nicest person to ever meet and run into. I got to go to a private event with him at Dover Speedway. Man, he just took time and talked to you. And, when you were talking with him, he listened to you. He cared.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice guy. Same with Eric Almirola, NASCAR driver who was driving for Richard Petty at the time. That's why I was invited to this event. Because Eric Almirola is one of my favorite drivers. Super nice. Oh my goodness. Could not be a nicer person to stand there and talk to and chat with. And NASCAR drivers are that way. Mm-hmm. And that is thanks to Richard Petty.
Yep.
A lot of that is thanks to Richard Petty. So every interaction I've had with NASCAR drivers has just been wonderful. But those two especially, were just great. Baseball wise, I've had a lot. Minor league player who made AAA, never made AA. Luke Lockwood was super nice to us. Eric Munson. A lot of you may know Thurman Munson, who played for the New York Yankees, was killed in a plane crash. Eric Munson, super nice guy. At that point, he was playing AA ball. They were in Harrisburg. It was the last game of the season. I was waiting for him to get an autograph. Went around to the Harrisburg Center side, came back to, at that point, it was the Erie Seawolves side, as they were leaving the locker room and everything. And he's standing there, and there's nobody else around. Our parents are waiting there for us.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Mr. Munson, can I have your autograph and everything?" And he took time, talked to me, was super nice. Realizing then that, my parents gave him a quarter to use the payphone.
Yeah, that's how old the story is. Payphones were relevant.
Yep. Well, it would have been
early 90s.
Yeah, mid 90s.
Yeah.
Late 90s. It was late 90s.
96.5.
So that was kind of cool. And he was super nice. Really nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey wise, again, a lot of the guys I run into are super nice. Guy, of course, didn't make the NHL, unfortunately. He might have a game or two. Stefan Walby, played for the Hershey Bears, was a super nice guy. Man, anybody I've run into with the Bears has been. That's been a real trait of guys that have come to it. There have been a couple who have not. And we'll go there. But, like, going away from sports, Steve Azar, country music singer. Really nice guy. I saw him twice in one day. Got my picture with him at the first place. Went and had it made into an 8x10. Had him sign it at the second place.
Yeah.
And that's probably your favorite concert. Well, I went because we did your favorite concerts, but your most unique location to see a concert.
Yeah.
It was in a Burger King parking lot.
I'm trying to think of the baseball player that we saw in Montreal. Not Ryan McGuire, but the guy that was with him that spoke no English. Because there was 2 signings.
No, the other guy signing was Mike Mordecai.
I thought the other guy was like one of the Japanese players that didn't speak.
No, it was Mike Mordecai.
Okay.
But you know, I don't know if the guy's nice or mean. The funny story with that was we're in Montreal for a baseball game. After the game, we're waiting by where you go down to the subway, and Brad Fulmer,
Olympian Brad Fulmer,
comes out and asks him to sign, and he hands Tim his beer to hold, and told Tim, "Don't spill my beer."
Yep. I was threatened by an Olympian, like one does.
Was Fulmer an Olympian? Brad Wilkerson was.
I thought Fulmer was on the team.
I don't think Brad Fulmer was.
I thought he was on the team.
No. I know Brad Wilkerson was.
Yeah, I thought Fulmer made the team.
But yeah, so a lot of nice celebrities. And again, country artists waiting in line after shows. A lot of those guys are really appreciative.
In the board game realm, we met Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton was pretty cool. I got to talk hockey with Will Wheaton, and I think he was just happy not to talk
board games.
Well, board games or
Star
Trek. We were talking Kings hockey. We were talking minor league hockey. I think he was just happy to talk about something else. And I almost offered to pay for his pizza. Then I thought, guy makes more than me standing here than I probably did last year.
Yeah. Let's see. I got to meet Ivan Van Norman, who's big in the board game community.
We met James Hudson.
They were both nice. I mean,
we met the Dice Tower crew.
Yep.
But
the guys from the Secret Code Ball, I got to meet them.
Well, and I sort of did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to sit and play with them.
Yeah. But so we've covered a lot of nice. Let's go the other side.
Okay.
Have you run into anybody who wasn't nice? I've got 2.
I don't remember the name of the gentleman, but it wasn't to me that he wasn't nice. It was to a small boy.
That's the one.
I don't think he ever made it to the major leagues.
I don't think either. It was a pitcher, AA. He played for Harrisburg at the time. His name was Brian Hobson.
Yeah, see, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Last game of the season, of course, everybody waits for autographs and everything. And most guys, again, that was the day Luke Lockwood went back in, got cleats, and was giving out uniform parts and signing, and just that was, most of the guys were happy. Brian Hobson came out of the locker room. Little kid went to ask for his autograph. He said, "I'll get a pen out of my vehicle." Walked to his vehicle. Yeah. We watched him get in, and he drove away. And the little kid was sort of standing there like, he's going to come back.
Yeah.
We're just going.
He just had to go get a pen.
I felt bad for the kid. And again, I don't know what the reasoning is for that, but I take a lot out of that. Which actually goes to a third guy. Actually, my other 2 guys are very similar. Do you have anybody else?
See, I never really dealt with terrible people, mainly because...
Well, yeah, you have. The one. It's one of mine.
That's one of... Was this for Pirate Fest?
No.
Is this a wrestling signing?
No, Pete Rose Jr.
We got an autograph from Pete Rose Jr.?
No, but because he wouldn't sign. And he was just...
Well, see, we never had like a physical interaction with Pete Rose Jr.
Oh, you might have not been there, but I was there when he wouldn't even... he was just not nice to people.
Yeah, I had no reason.
Well,
to,
and I'm talking, may have not with you, but have you been there when somebody's not been nice to other people?
Not really.
And Pete Rose Jr. was one. Marlon Byrd
I don't remember.
played for the Phillies in the majors.
I mean, I know.
Well, you were there with Marlon Byrd when we were down in Reading. Came out of the locker room and basically told everybody to shove off
See, I don't remember.
as he walked by. Well, you were little.
Yeah.
You were little. I mean,
unless he pushed me to the ground and kicked me on his way out.
He was not nice to people. If you don't want to sign or you don't want interaction, there's a nice way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, to come out and tell people to shove off is not a good way to do it. And so I have another one that I don't know, again, if he's nice, if he's not nice, because he just avoided it.
Mm-hmm.
And Bryce Harper.
Okay.
In Hagerstown.
Well, I think that was part shielding and part him told not to do.
Well, in Hagerstown, he walked out around second base to avoid people.
Yeah.
In Harrisburg, he didn't even change in the locker room with the team.
Mm-hmm.
They golf carted him from the club or from the dugout to a building outside the stadium where he had his own locker area.
Mm-hmm.
So he never had to interact with fans. Again, was that him? Was that the team? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it just... So I can't say I had a bad interaction with him because I didn't really have one.
Yeah.
It just rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, in fairness,
At least Steven Strasburg, when he came through,
yeah.
granted, they brought him in at the preseason thing, set him at a table, he signed the autographs, and then they set him at a table for the meal with management.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get to sit with the people who paid to be there.
I mean, in all fairness, maybe he's a person that doesn't do well with large groups of people.
And I don't know, but, so that's, I can't say if it was bad or not.
Yeah.
But
I'll never judge a celebrity or an athlete's interaction with a fan when it's not at a meet and greet. Because that's their time to meet you and greet you and sign stuff. People that, hunch down, okay, if they have,
okay, Steve Blackman. I think Steve Blackman's a super nice guy. We kept running into him.
Yeah, I'll wave and say hi, but I'm not going to, stop him and start talking.
No, and I bet you would have been okay if we would have had something to autograph.
Yeah.
But we didn't. I wish I would have. Because I really like Steve Blackman. For some reason, we kept running into him in the city of Harrisburg.
Well, he lives around there.
Yeah.
He owns 2 businesses in
Yeah.
the town.
So we kept running into him, every month. And he, recognized us as we were walking towards him. We probably thought we were stalking him. But we weren't. So...
I mean, that's the one thing about autographs. I think you should only get autographs at meet and greets, or if they have a secondary group, like you say, where you have to go through such and such to get them. Don't be hunting down people's addresses, sending 15 things.
Well, I do autographs through the mail.
Yeah, but you send it people in their 80s. These people are I found your cousin and your brother, and I sent to them as well. Please sign this stuff.
Well, no, and there are differences in things. And I'm talking just physically having an interaction with that person or being around when they've had interactions with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a difference. We used to go to Pirate Fest every year. And you did see a difference between the current players and when there was alumni there, past players.
Yeah.
Dave Clark, who played for the Pirates in the early 90s, also played for the Cubs. We went through the line twice because nobody was going through his line. Was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Again, there weren't many people there. He was cool. We went through a second time. And the older players, I thought, were nicer than the current ones at that time. And I still think now, though, sports has changed to where they have to be so guarded. I like writing to those guys that are 60, 70 years old, especially hockey players that have played in Hershey. Because they'll actually write little notes about their time here. But I know that there are athletes and celebrities that can be a pain.
I think the person that put in the most perspective for me when it comes to like bad celebrities, when it comes to interaction, was actually Eminem.
Okay.
Because he has the reputation of like, oh, he's terrible to his fans out in public. And he explained it. When he's out in public, he's probably like eating lunch to do something.
Well,
and then he has a schedule. Like, he only has this much time because he has to get somewhere.
But that's different. I get it. If I walk up to somebody at a restaurant, I'm invading their personal time.
Exactly. That's why I say meet and greets or things like that.
But like leaving the stadium, if the guy doesn't want to sign, be nice about it. Just be like, no autographs, thank you, and keep walking.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna tell a little kid, I'm gonna go get a pen and be back, or you just tell people to shove off, just say no autographs today, or not today, or something like that.
No habla inglés.
You don't have to be a jerk.
I guess. I mean, granted, if our channel ever becomes big, I will always disappoint people.
You will be the bad guy of the group of the duo, and I'll be, I'll if somebody sends us a picture to autograph, I'll autograph, and Tim will probably just take a handful of like chocolate syrup and be like, there we go.
No, if somebody comes up and it's like, hey, and it's like, what's your name? And they'll be like, it's Jimmy. I'm like, Jimmy. And I'll just write their name.
Would it be cool if people like recognize us and like, hey, I want a picture with you? I'm saying yes. Yeah. I'm always gonna say yes.
I'll say, can I take the picture? Because that's a more memorable story. This photo was taken by Tim. Yep. He's not in it, but he took it for you.
Well, and another country guy, Jeff Bates. Hasn't been on the charts in a long time, but super nice guy. Actually bought Italian ice from me. Would not take it for free. Paid me. Wouldn't take the change. Left it as a tip. And when I got an autograph picture after his concert that night, signed the photo. Thanks for the Italian ice. I was like, how cool is that?
I think that goes along with niceness to meanness. The more obscure or past your career was, the more likely you're going to be nicer or have time.
Yeah. Well, if you're like an A-list superstar of a team or an A-list celebrity,
I'm like, Mike Trout, acknowledge me and take a photo now.
So yes, I get that. If you're a guy who tops out at single A baseball, or you made the majors for one at bat.
But while you're in single A ball, you gotta think to yourself, I'm gonna be the next greatest player ever. You gotta protect yourself.
Well, that's
as a brand.
And that's more thought of today than it was 30, 40 years ago. But if you've ever had an interaction with a celebrity or a sports star that went really well, or who you think is a nice celebrity or athlete, leave it in the comments. If you've had a bad interaction with a celebrity or a sports star, let us know. If you know any of the random people we've talked about, let us know.
If you know who we are, let us know.
and if you do see us at a game con, I'll take a picture with you. He'll take the picture.
I'll take the picture. You're like, this was chocolate covered game. Where's the other one? Taking the picture.
Don't be afraid. I don't have an issue with people coming up and talking to me anytime.
I will charge for listening. You can talk to me. It costs to listen.
Yep.
No celebrities like that. It's like,
yeah. But again, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, like, ring the bell, share the video.
Yep, we're getting close to 50 subscribers.
So with that,
this wraps up the monthly melt of March 2022.
Yep.
As always, stay sweet.